the APC and the architect of its national unity. For Amadi to drag his name through the mud in this manner is political gutter work of the lowest order. President Tinubu has never, will never, and can never fund the sabotage of his own party in any state. The claim by Amadi is nothing but a hallucination of desperate man with an inflated ego in search of uniformed victims of his political bet Niger. We therefore demand that the security agencies immediately clamp down on this unhinged assault on the commander-in-chief. This is beyond politics. It is character assassination against the president and a direct affront to the unity of the Nigerian state. Even more treasonous is his claim that he has been printing INEC sensitive materials as a contractor, and that he has already printed ballot papers and result sheets for 2027 Imo governorship election. All of these, he often claims, are done because he is an agent or front for the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu. By claiming to be an agent of INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, and boasting of having facilitated electoral malpractices in other states, Amadi is deliberately sabotaging public confidence in INEC. His goal is obvious: to play the false messiah to the gullible while dragging the nation's electoral empire into disrepute. Such claims are combustible, not just reasonous. They are the political equivalent of shouting fire in a crowded theater. They must be treated as such. In view of this, we issue a direct public appeal to the National Security Advisor, the Department of State Security, State Services, the Nigerian Police Force, and all relevant agencies. Treat this statement as a red alert national security matter. Specifically, we call on immediate raids and searches on all known residences of Chief Amadi in Ngokpala and Abuja to find any INEC materials he claims to possess. If Amadi is lying, prosecute him for willful misinformation. If he is telling the truth, prosecute him for possessing illegal election materials. Either way, the man belongs to the dock. Even more worrisome is the fact that Chief Amadi, who is not a public office holder and who has not held even a councillorship position all his life, now parades himself with a large army of security agents as though he were already a state governor. This is a dangerous charade designed to give the false impression that he is being backed from above. We ask in all seriousness, has Nigeria become such a country where impostors and political jesters can infiltrate the security forces and deploy our gallant officers and men for political impersonation, fraudulent misrepresentation, and hatchet jobs? This ugly spectacle must not be allowed to stand. We must also strongly advise the people of Imo State, particularly vulnerable market men and women, whom Amadi frequently invades with cash handouts to exercise extreme caution. It has been widely alleged that Amadi is a member of the notorious the 13th Veil Brotherhood, a deadly cult for money rituals known for diabolical practices, in which money sharing is linked to ritual obligations that claim the health, destiny, well-being, and lives of unsuspecting recipients and their family members. Such gifts often brings misfortune rather than blessing. Homes that accept them are said to descend from one calamity to another. This may explain why Amadi insists on personally distributing money in markets rather than through associates. More troubling is his well-known abandonment of the Jehovah's Witnesses faith into which he was born and his open denunciation of Christianity. Today, Amadi is not a member of any Christian denomination. Against this backdrop, his reckless money distribution should not be mistaken for generosity, but seen for what it truly represents, an extension of his obligation to his occultic foundations. This is a grave danger to our people. We cannot also ignore the role of his close ally, one Ikengimu Ugochinyere, who has become a twin face of this reckless politics and whose irresponsibility, even as a lawmaker, is legendary. Under his sponsorship, talks attacked journalists at the old NUJ Secretariat in Owerri, spilling blood, smashing cameras, and forcing female journalists to flee for their life. That old building, which NUJ voluntarily handed over to the Imo State government after it was given a befitting new complex, that is where we are now, has now been illegally converted into a den of hemp smokers, criminals, and rapists, all shielded by a serving federal legislator. This is shameful and intolerable. Gentlemen of the press, the Greater Imo Initiative hereby calls for the government of Imo State to immediately take over the old NUJ Secretariat to restore order, protect innocent residents, and preserve the dignity of journalism in our dear state. Security agencies must also open investigations into Gochinye's violent gangs, his sponsorship of criminal elements, and his unholy alliance with Amadi. No democracy can afford to keep silent when two men, bound by reckless ambition, mortgage peace, dignity, and security on the altar of selfish politics. We shall continue to defend truth, dismantle lies, and protect the reputation of Imo State from the wrecking crew of ambition-driven charlatans. We will not allow anti-Imo propagandists to stain the unity of our people or the hard-earned achievements under Governor Hugo Zodema. Before I come to finality, I want to tell the press that the likes of Amadi, who goes to the 3 zones of this state, he goes to Mbise, he goes to Olo, goes to Okigwe to criticize the administration of our dear governor, telling the people lies. When he was going through to this place, he was so blind not to see the standard road infrastructure put in place by our dear governor. If he had gone through this road, Chief Amadi ought to have praised the governor for this quality of road he has put on ground. For instance, if Chief Amadi is going to Okigwe Road, when that road had not been built, how would he cross? How would he cross the Kemele axis? That place would have stopped him. So for Chief Amadi to be blind of all the achievements, solid achievement the governor has recorded, means that he's a blind man. And Imolite will not allow a blind man to govern them. At this juncture, I want to warn or advise all the traditional rulers in this state not to bestow anybody or politician with the honor of chieftaincy title. They should screen them thoroughly, find out what they are before they should bestow them with a chieftaincy title. I also want to ask, what is the antecedent of Chief Amadi? What is his alma mater? He should tell Imolite the name of the secondary, primary, and university he attended, and the qualifications he obtained, and the kind of job he does. This is what should have preoccupied him, to market himself, so that Imolite will now consider him, and not to come and jump the procedure of criticizing a government, of attacking a political party, and at the same time claiming that Mr. President gave him the approval to come and destroy a house he built. Having said that, and finally, we call on the people of Imo State to reject the prophet of doom, the apostle of fake data, and the merchant of chaos. Imo's progress will continue, not because of these political comedians, but in spite of them, we stand on truth. And truth will always outlive the noise of liars. Gentlemen of the press, I thank you for finding time to come and take our own story about these charlatans who wants to destroy our party in the name of political ambition, in the name of they want to become the governor of Imo State. Thank you, and God bless you.
Good day, gentlemen of the press. My name remains Comrade Umukoro Mavis Udechukwu. Comrade Umukoro Mavis Udechukwu is my nomenclature, and I am the former national president, National Association of Imo State Students. I am here to speak as a stakeholder under the student community. As long as the student community is concerned in Imo State, Comrade Umukoro Mavis is a stakeholder. And I am here to make a point, possible advice to all our tertiary institutions in Imo, our VCs and our rectors. I am here advising them to please do everything in their capacity, because it is very, very sacrosanct. The worst thing an institution would want, or the head of any institution would desire, is for his name or his administration to be brought to the mud. We won't take it lightly. If Mazi penetrates our institutions anymore in disguise for political campaigns, our institutions are very sensitive arena for moral learning ground and not a campaign arena. Therefore, we call on all the management of our institutions to please desist from welcoming this man into our institutions. Otherwise, we will have no other option than to take ourselves to the street. This is a call as well to the security agencies to take note of this, because we won't be needing any permission to take ourselves to the street to protect the integrity of our institutions. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Gentlemen of the press conference is self-explanatory. Is there any need for question and answer? In absence of question, let's take just one question. Please, straight to the point.
Okay, good afternoon. Good afternoon, all. My name is Colin Sosuchi. I write for The Guardian. I have listened tentatively to what you've listed, the claims and the requests you made regarding the certain politician whose activities you said is causing breach of peace, may cause breach of peace in the state. Given the prayers you've made, want to know if these prayers that you said are not, both from the police and from the security agencies, are not heeded to, would you go further with any action like going to court, or is there any further action you will take to ensure that this truth which you stood for is actualized for the interest of the state? That's my question.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. The prayers we made were made to security agencies and government establishments like EFCC. And they have the right and authority to take action to protect the law, because the man has offended a lot of financial laws of the and security laws of the country. So it is the responsibility of the security agencies, EFCC, and other government establishments to take action, because they are there to protect the laws of the government. We cannot rely on self-help. We believe they will take our prayers and solve it. Thank you.
Okay. Please.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Edison Okoke. I write for the Daily Nigerian Home. My question is, you may wish to tell us a little about GII. That is number one question. Yes, your background, where you've been coming from, and your position on the issue of Charter of Equity in Imo State. Thank you.
Thank you very much. GII is Great Imo Initiative. We have been in existence, and we have been watching the character of these politicians we mentioned in our address. At a point, it becomes imperative that we should do something about it in order to protect the integrity of our government and the generality of Imo State. So that is why we are in existence, and to do some other things. We are not on Amadi and Wuchinyi alone. Our function or role is a continuous thing. So having said that, your second question is
Your position in Imo Charter of Equity.
the Charter of Equity. The Charter of Equity. You know, there is a legal palace that says, he who goes to equity must go with a clean hands. He who goes to equity must go with a clean hands. We believe in the Charter of Equity. We believe in the Charter of Equity. But he who wants that equity in his favor should have a clean hands. So we don't think that Amadi and his cohorts are coming with clean hands in order to believe in the Charter of Equity. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have come to the end of the press conference. While they step out, gentlemen of we can still sit down so we can tidy ourselves. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Welcome. This is Techni Fire, where we ignite your mind with digital possibilities. I am Dakbo Aruwa Joy. Health, they say, is wealth. But when it comes to tech,